This is Marcus from beamlit.com, and in this video I want to show you a couple of different options. I want to show you the features within the Energy Saver, which this can be accessed within the system preferences. This is part of the system preferences playlist. And remember from the last video, you can actually access the system preferences just by going right up here and clicking on the little Apple icon and clicking system preferences. And now right here, you could either search for the Energy Saver and access it directly right there, or just click it right there. It's really good to optimize this specific feature because it really just depends on how often you're using your computer, and you really want to optimize depending on either the MacBook Pro or the iMac. You're going to have a couple different options. In fact, if you're using a MacBook Pro, there's going to be two different options right here, which I want to see if I could actually let me pause the video so I could bring a better display. Just a moment. Right back, and I was able to. This is sort of how if you have a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, anything that would use a battery. Right now, I'm actually running on an iMac. And so everything, it's just charged. It's actually connected just to the power outlet. And so there's actually no option for the battery. And so it's pretty much just the power adapter. And it's good to optimize for both, because if you're using a MacBook Pro or if you're using anything that requires a battery, you're always going to want to make the display about as frequent as often. You want to make it as frequent as possible for it to sleep, because you really want to conserve that battery. And also, it could definitely wear it out. It depends on how many applications are running. There's a lot of different factors. But the thing is, you don't want to have. Let's just say this is a MacBook Pro. Right here with these options, the battery and power adapter. Let's just say you're in battery, and you choose to never put your computer to sleep. What's going to happen is if you left for a little bit and you didn't have the battery, it was not charged or anything, then it will run until it just completely dies, until it actually goes into a hibernation state, and that's you do that over and over again. It's just not healthy for the battery. And so I really consider that if you do have a MacBook Pro or anything that requires a battery, it seems I'm very specific, just the MacBook Pro, but like MacBook Air and so on. Make sure you click on the battery options, and it should be 15 minutes as a default, but you may want to make it even less. You may want to make it 10 minutes, because if you're on the computer, it will sleep if you don't touch it for that amount of time. You leave it completely to its own, where it's not doing anything. And also keep in mind, with the newer updates, I believe this may just be in Yosemite, which is it's a beta version. This is going to be the latest OS for Apple. Right now, there's the current actual version. The operating system is Mavericks, and Yosemite is going to be the next one. But they have a new option called Enable Power Nap. So I'm not sure if that is in Mavericks. It may be. I have to look into it, but this allows you to still pretty much go in sleep mode. And if you don't know what sleep mode is, it pretty much shuts down. It's like shutdown, but you're able to access all your information within just a very fast amount of time. So if I were to sleep this, which I'm not, because it would actually turn off the video and everything, but it would allow you to just it's like you pause. It's like if you're playing a game, you pause the game and then you just resume. So you can resume wherever you want. Very similar to that, but Power Nap allows you to still back up and do a couple of additional things. Like it says, check for new email, calendar, and it's a lot of the background stuff that won't take too much memory. It would just do it, just do it in the back, and so it's a pretty sweet option that they have, especially the time machine, because most of the time you don't, if you're going to sleep, or if you like backing up your computer at night, then you could allow it to go into sleep mode and still back up the time machine, without taking too much memory. Without taking too many resources. And so it's a lot better. So I would definitely consider that if you back up or if you use something that's sort of on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, I would consider that. But as far as these other options, my personal preference as far as the power adapter, I like keeping it about 30 minutes to an hour, because I mean most of the time I'm working on this thing all the time, and I mean like for development and a lot of these other projects, and so I mean it's more convenient for me. And then when I'm not using my computer, I shut it off anyway. But as far as the battery, I would really consider that you keep it around 5 to maybe 15 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes is a little too extreme in my opinion, because the battery can really, it can go down pretty fast, even though they do have an average span of about 8 hours right now. But it's something to keep in mind. Hope that you enjoy this video, and if you have any questions, have any well actually, before we close this video, you can schedule times in which it will sleep and when it will start up. So that's very, very convenient. I mean, if you have a personal preference, if you're like, okay, so it's gonna sleep every single day at like 9 p.m. and it's gonna wake up automatically at, I don't know, 6 a.m., then you can have that. You could actually set that right here. Set different options here, so it's very convenient. And you just you change this just through here. You can actually go to AM or PM just by, you actually just do the you just type in P or A, and it'll automatically set. And make sure you have this selected, or else you're not going to be able to edit this. So hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, as always, send a message below. Thank you.